I hadn't seen him. He's changed a lot. Visually, he's changed. I like to say visually as opposed to from the look standpoint, because, of course, looks don't matter anymore.
Hold on, Matt, found the slurring audio effect that you're putting on Donald Trump. Like, this is,
as he looks so small in that chair too. Look at that.
That's what I noticed at on Fox and Friends. This guy is shrinking rapidly, physically.
Donald Trump was a guest on Patrick Bet-David's Biz Bro podcast. Trump is making the rounds of all of these right-wing podcasts and YouTube channels. Sam Seder of the Majority Report broke all this down. He got some laughs out of Trump and Patrick Bet-David. We're going to take a look at clips from Patrick Bet-David's show, as well as clips from Sam Seder's show. I'll share my thoughts from time to time. This is a good one. Let's get into this together.
Donald Trump recently went on the Patrick Bet-David show. Wasn't Patrick Bet-David saying he wasn't going to do interviews or what? I can't remember. I can't remember.
He certainly wouldn't go against his word.
No. But I don't know if that was true or not. I don't really particularly remember. But here is Donald Trump, and they're so tortured by the existence of Barack Obama. It is fascinating to watch little minds and how obsessed they can become by people who are in the past, even people who have passed away. But here's Donald Trump showing what kind of like pea brain he has.
Terrible the way he spoke to him. You
think it's effective? You think he still carries the same stick as he did, maybe 8 years ago or 12 years ago?
No, I don't think he does. No, I don't think he does. I think people have gotten smart. And no, I don't believe he does at all. I hadn't seen him. He's changed a lot. Visually, he's changed. I like to say visually as opposed to from the look standpoint, because, of course, looks don't matter anymore.
Hold on, Matt, can you, Donald Trump is talking about Barack Obama and how he's seemingly aged. Will you just do me a favor? Will you turn down the slurring audio effect that you're putting on Donald Trump? Like, this is,
as he looks so small in that chair too. Look at that.
That's what I noticed at on Fox and Friends. This guy is shrinking rapidly, physically, and here he is sitting in a seat. I sat in that same seat in Patrick Bet-David, and I wasn't so like, and I have a slouch. I wasn't even like that, sort of like falling into the chair. But just go back and please turn off the slurring audio effect that you're putting on.
I don't know why we got.
And Sam Seder is right. I mean, the slurring is, and Sam Seder is right. Trump looks and sounds terrible. I mean, he's an old guy, but there's been a lot of talk over the last few weeks that Trump has canceled some performances, canceled some appearances rather. And the word on that was just exhaustion. Now, Trump, to Trump's credit, he goes around and does all these rallies and talks for hours and all of that. And there's not necessarily a lot of people his age that would be doing that. But he looks and sounds awful in this particular interview on Patrick Bet-David's show. So that really stood out to me. And the slurring, he just doesn't look or sound good.
The board with a slurry note feature on it.
I mean, at the time, it sounded like something that we could use at one point, but we've really, the only time that it gets into use these days is when you put it on for Donald Trump. Just go back a little bit.
Smart. And no, I don't believe he does at all. I hadn't seen him. He's changed a lot. Visually, he's changed. I like to say visually as opposed to from the look standpoint, because, of course, looks don't matter anymore in politics. You say looks don't matter. It doesn't make any difference, because we want to be politically correct, but they do matter. But he's changed. His look has changed actually quite a bit. I haven't seen him in a long time.
And by the way, Rob, I think that's even 4 years ago. I think it's even more than it is
well,
today.
no, but the statement you just made was a couple of days ago. And that
it was a couple of days ago. And it's similar to the statement he made back in 2012 when he told business owners, you didn't build that. Remember when he said that? I don't know if you remember that whole comment. I think this is the speech, Rob, if you want to play this.
If you got a business, that you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
So this becomes a pattern of
communism.
You see a pattern of communism there?
No, I mean, that's basically the view.
A pattern of communism. Barack Obama was a middle of the road standard politician. And this is how many years later that Obama said that you didn't build that comment. And maybe that was a poor choice of wording from Barack Obama. But the point that he was making at the time was that somebody starts a business and they don't just exist in a vacuum. They're using roads, to ship their products that were paid for by tax dollars. They're, the employees that somebody would hire have been educated in the public school systems using tax dollars. So it's, this kind of idea of the businessman that just did everything on their own and they had no help and there was no ever any involvement from the government or anything. That's what Obama was trying to say at the time. And right-wingers had jumped on that at the time and have been using it ever since. But Trump, we know Trump ran for president because Barack Obama made fun of him at the White House Correspondents' Dinner years ago. This has been, 15 years ago or something now? And Trump can't take that. And that was his motivation to, that was his villain origin story, was Barack Obama made fun of him. And Trump was obsessed with that. And that's what got him to run for president. So I guess in a way we could say we have Barack Obama to blame for Trump in the national political scene. But we all know this, but just what a petty person. It never ceases to amaze me that Donald Trump is a billionaire, or, allegedly a billionaire, and became president of the United States. But that's still not enough to feed this empty hole that he has in his soul, basically. This is a deeply insecure man.
We didn't do anything.
Right.
Government did it. Somebody did it, but anybody but us.
Do you think this works with the undecided voter? Do you think the undecided voter that's sitting, our audience, they're entrepreneurs, they're small business owners, they're family, they have kids, they want to win, they got dreams, they want to do something. Do you think a message like that from him lands on the business owner?
Now, Patrick Bet-David again is talking about something that Barack Obama said years and years and years ago. This isn't something that Barack Obama just said yesterday, campaigning for Kamala Harris. And this isn't a message that's really being put out there by Kamala Harris's campaign that all businesses, you don't exist without help from the government. She's not even talking about this. So they're obsessing over these things that aren't even a part of this campaign, other than just Donald Trump and right-wingers like Patrick Bet-David are going to label anything that they don't like as communist.
On the undecided voter, on the person that says, you know what, I think he's right, I'm going to go vote for him. Do you think it works?
I think you don't have that many undecided voters. I think by now you have very strong Trump voters.
Yeah, we can end it there.
Even Patrick Bet-David was like, communism. No, that's not what I meant. Whatever.
They put a picture of Obama, and there's one thing you will say about Obama is he's a handsome guy. And even though he's great a little bit, I don't know if Trump in his, again, like people make the Doritos joke for about 10 years now. Speaking of like, if people are getting smart and used to this stuff, like he looks horrible.
He looks horrible. And he's so low energy. And the idea that he's talking about how Obama doesn't look good anymore, it's hilarious. It's really crazy.
It's a good point from Sam Seder. This always makes me think of, I don't know if there's a meme where there's a guy sitting on his couch with a food-stained t-shirt and he's watching, it's like a Victoria's Secret models on TV. And the guy's saying her nose, is looking at this beautiful model, and the guy's saying her nose is too big. It's Donald Trump. There's not a lot of self-awareness there when he's looking at other people and criticizing their looks, and doesn't seem to be a lot of self-reflection on what he looks like. But this is a quick one here. As I said, Donald Trump making the rounds on these shows like Patrick Bet-David show, where I guess they're going to bat, their MO was to bash Barack Obama, a person who hasn't been in office for a couple of terms, a person who isn't running for office. Yes, he's campaigning for Kamala Harris, as other Democrats are doing, but he really has very little to do with what's happening right now in terms of this 2024 election between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. But he continues to be Barack Obama continues to be an obsession of right-wingers and Donald Trump himself because, like I said, Barack Obama was the real catalyst for Donald Trump's villain origin story and becoming president. But what do you think about Sam Seder's assessment here of Patrick Bet-David? If you enjoyed this particular clip, I have a couple other videos of Sam Seder on the Patrick Bet-David show debating with Patrick Bet-David, which are really great. So check those out on my channel if you haven't seen them. Make sure to leave me a comment about Sam Seder, Donald Trump, Patrick Bet-David, anything else that you want to comment on. Also, give me a like and subscribe. My channel, I'm well over 30,000 subscribers. I want to keep growing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so I can bring out more content like this. This is Chris on Culture. I will see you in the next video.